channel, Shanna4REAL, where I keep it real. You already know what's the deal, and your girl is back. And I would like to say Happy New Year to everybody, because this is my first time since 2020 that I'm posting on YouTube. I always say I'm coming back strong, but it didn't happen. We started a little bit late, but it's cool. So welcome back to my channel, guys, and today's video is going to be a story time of how I got robbed in Mexico. I just went to Mexico last month, and your girl got a little bit robbed, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm over it now. I'm just a little sad, but I'm over it now. But yeah, so I'll give you guys a story about that. And before I do, you guys know what to do. Subscribe down below. Give me a big thumbs up. Comment, share, do all that good stuff. And let's get into this video. Alright guys, so let's get into the story time. I know I'm in a new setting today. It is my new little, hair studio. I fixed it up and stuff. So I'll probably do a tour on that, maybe in a different video. But anyway, let's get into the story. So January last month, I went to Cabo, Mexico for about a week, 8 days, call it. Me and my boyfriend went. We stayed at the resort called the Real Santa Fe. Usually we always say at Reals because Reals are always like, they're like the 5-star resorts and they're always clean and everything's always proper. So we always just stay at those resorts. So we read the reviews or whatever. We always check reviews. The reviews are fine, but you know how there's always that 1-2 negative review. It's whatever. But like, yeah, the resort was good, so we chose to go there. So when we get there, usually when we go on vacations, we do not let the housekeepers come in our room. Like, we'll let them come in, if we're there for a week, we'll probably let them come in once or twice, but we don't like them coming in our room because we just don't want stuff to go missing. And like, even though we have a safe, we never usually use our safe because we usually have everything on us, or we'll like hide it in like some secret spot. So yeah, so anyway, so this is day 2 of our trip when everything just went downhill. I already kind of wasn't really feeling the trip because of the weather, and it was just, well, I don't know. But yeah, so this is day 2. Every day of the week they have a themed pool party on the resort. So this day they were having a pool party. Our rooms were right here, and then the pool, one of the pools where the party was going to be, was in another like closed off area, but it was across from rooms. But we cannot see our room from the pool. So as I said, we never usually let people come in our rooms and clean it, because like we just keep it clean ourselves, and then maybe like a 1-2 time we get them to come in like a couple times to like change the sheets and do all that stuff. So this time, so before we went to the pool party, we went in our rooms, we got changed in our swimsuits. I had my black fanny pack that I wore everywhere with me that kept my money in. Before we went down there, like, I had US dollars. Remember, I'm from Canada, I'm from US, so you know the exchange rates are a little messed up for the Canadians right now. So I had I exchanged, I got about $225 USD, and I got them all in small bills. So I had like 50s, 20s, 10s, 1s, 5s, all like, in smaller bills, so I could like tip and stuff. So I had them in my fanny pack in the exchange places like envelope, and I had them in my fanny pack. So I always kept everything there and I walked around. So since it was the pool party, we went to our room, we went to go change on some swimsuits, and like obviously I'm not bringing my fanny pack, so I'm going in the pool, right? So what I did, I had my stuff in my fanny pack, but I put it under, like, our sheets were like messed up, obviously, because we slept in. I just left my fanny pack under the sheets, and before we leave, we always put the red sign on the door, do not disturb. And in that do not disturb, it has English, Spanish, and another language. So I'm pretty sure whoever was trying or wants to go in our room can read the sign, like, all right, they don't want to be bothered, move on to the next. So they had 2 signs. They had a green sign too in your room also, but there was a red sign, which means obviously don't come in. Green means yes, come in, clean our room. We left the red sign on the door. Boom, we left, we went to the pool party. The pool party was pretty good. They were actually playing finally like some good music, because usually I find when you go to these Spanish like places, like they always play like their Spanish music, or they play like pop, like the fist pumping music, and I ain't into that shit. So yeah, it was pretty good, and the water was so warm, it was so nice. But anyway, we're there for a while, whatever, in the pool, and my boyfriend's finally like, yo, I'm gonna go back and get my smokes. So he goes back to the room. He didn't know that I put my fanny pack under the sheets. And remember, I put our fanny pack under the sheets because nobody's coming in our room anyway. So he goes back to the room to go get his smokes or whatever, this, that. And then he comes back to the pool. He's like, yo, the girl was in our room cleaning our room. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, why was she in our room? Then I realized, I'm like, oh shit, my bag was on the bed with my money in it. So we go back to the room now. Oh, and let me add this in. He tipped whoever was in their room. He tipped the person. So I go back to the room now to go make sure my money's all there. I'm like, shoot. But even though the girl was not supposed to be in our room because we had a red do not disturb sign on the door. So I go back to the room. I look at my bag. I'm like, whew, okay, my money's there. Because I see bare bills still in my envelope. Like I had like a stack of bills. So I'm like, okay, she didn't take my money. Thank God. I'm like, they're actually, honest. So next day now comes, and my boyfriend wants to pay for my henna tattoo. I told him I'll give him back the money, but he said he didn't want back the money. But nah, I'll give it back to you. So I was going in my bag now. This is the next day, guys, to give him back the money that he paid for my henna tattoo, even though he said he didn't want it. So I went in my bag, and I'm like, okay, let me just count how much money I have. Since I've been on that trip, this is the third day, I spent $7. Most of the money time I bring money with me, it's only for excursions, and if I want to buy like a 1-2 souvenir. And then I also brought my credit card, like just in case. You never know what will happen. So before I was about to give him his money, I'm like, let me count how much I have. So I'm counting. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Counting. I stop at 23. Remember, guys, I told you I had $225. I spent $7. You do the math. I should still have 200. Like what? I should still have 200 and change. So I stop at 23, and I'm like, what? I'm like, nah, what is going on? So I'm like, I counted again, and I'm like, what the? I don't get mad. If anybody knows me, I'm like the calmest person. Like, you really, really have to push my buttons for me to get mad. Like, I got cheese. Like, oh my god, nah. Like, I don't get mad. Yeah, I get mad over money. When you fuck with money, that's when I get mad. But usually I don't really get mad. But I was so mad, I dropped everything. First of all, I called my sister. I'm like, yo, these I ran up to the front desk, cussing, looking like that crazy black person on the resort. Because, like, I was, like, one out of, like, 10 black people on the resort. So I look fucking crazy. I was cussing up a storm. Like, yo, just talking about it just gets me hype again. Anyway, so I get up to the freaking front desk. I'm like, yo, your people just went in my room, stole my fucking money. I want my fucking money. So $200 for me, guys. $200 USD. In Canadian, that is about $300. How motherfucking dare you? This bitch left me with $23 in ones. How fucking dare you? Like, what? She left me with $23 in ones. I was so mad. Like, I'm like, are you crazy? Like, I was just taking, I'm like, yo, somebody actually stole from me. Like, you couldn't take $20 and leave me with the $2. Like, I have an 8-day trip, and this is like my second day on the trip, and you stole $200 from me. So I'm at the front desk cussing, creating a scene. Like, okay, calm down, ma'am. I'm like, yo, how am I supposed to be calm when someone just stole all my money that I just brought here? Like, what do you mean be calm? So they're like, okay, you have to fill out an investigation report. So it's what's stolen, what time stolen, when you're stolen, all that stuff, all the information and stuff. And then, so I filled that out. They're like, okay, someone will be in contact with you, or one of the managers. So I think they said around 6 o'clock. Yeah, the manager. So around 6 o'clock now, I don't get no call. So I call, yeah, did I call the front desk? Yes, I called the front desk. She told me to come meet her in the lobby so we can have a meeting or whatever. So I go meet her in the lobby, and I'm like, yo, your people stole from me. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. I was just going on and off. I'm like, does she think I'm rich? I'm like, how dare she? I ain't a celebrity. I was just going in. I was just saying everything that was coming to my mind. I'm like, first of all, this girl wasn't even supposed to be in my room, and she went in my room, and she's like, oh, this is why we advise you guys to use the safe. I'm like, yo, don't tell me about no safe when the girl was not supposed to be in my room. So she went in my room when she wasn't supposed to, whether my stuff was in the safe or not. If I wanted her to come in my room, why would I leave my bag on the bed filled with cash for her to come in my room to be tempted to take my money? Does that make any sense? And they're like, oh, well, I guess, trying to say, like, basically I didn't use the safe. And the funny thing, what I found too, ever since we got there, like when you get on the bus to the tour guides take you to your hotel, they've been saying, you guys make sure you guys use the safe because we're not responsible for this, that. Anywhere else I ever went, they never pressured you so much to use the safe. Everywhere I go, use the safe. It's like they know what's going on there. Anyway, so I'm talking to her and telling her, she's like, oh, I'm very sorry, ma'am, very sorry. We're going to investigate this, that. So that night, like, they scanned, they used their computer to scan my door to see whose key card opened my door. And I'm like, yo, I feel like, I'm just going to do my own investigation because, like, you know, so I feel like they were taking their time and they weren't taking it serious. I'm like, yo, I just got robbed for like $200. Like, that's like $3 Canadian. Like, this USD. I'm not from the States, yo. Like, yo, I'm just getting so bad talk. I'm getting flustered. Anyway, so when I was walking down the hall, like, later that day, and I'm just looking, I see the housekeeper. So any housekeeper see, I'm like, oh, I'm not saying it in no type of way, like, oh, did you clean my room yesterday? I'm just like, oh, hey, did you guys clean the rooms yesterday? Or, hey, and there'd be some of them are like, oh, no English. So the next day, while I'm still waiting for these stupid resort people to do their investigation, I see two, what are they called? Housekeepers. Two housekeepers in the hallway. And I'm like, hey, did you guys know who cleaned the room this date? And I don't know if they understood what I meant, or if they maybe took it as, oh, who's cleaning the room as I'm speaking. So they must have said, no, we don't know who cleaned the room. They're like, oh, no. So I'm walking away now, and then one of them runs up to me, and she's like, oh, yes, Carmen. Carmen cleaned the room. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, is she here today? And then she said, yeah, she's over there cleaning the room. She's in the room. Carmen is in the room right across from my room. So our door is here. This is the other people's door, and it's facing like this. So Carmen's in this room. So I see her. So I'm like, all right. We go in her room, and I wait for her to come in her room. She comes in her room. I obviously wasn't going to attack her because I don't know for sure if it's her or not. I don't even know if they understood me properly, but it seemed like they knew what I was talking about. So when she came in the room, she started cleaning, and I'm like, okay, how do I bring it to her? Like, I don't want to approach her in the wrong way because I don't know if it's her, but I want answers, like, you know. So I showed her my fanny pack. I'm like, hey, Carmen, I'm like, you cleaned the room yesterday? She said C. I'm assuming she understood what I meant. You said C, but then again, sometimes when they don't understand, they say C, or I don't know. I feel like they don't know, but I felt like she understood. So I'm like, you cleaned the room? I'm like, okay, I'm missing money from this bag. You see this bag? It's missing a lot of money from it. She starts mumbling like, oh no, I no, like, and I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm about to go because I had another meeting to go down to the front desk to talk with one of the managers. And I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, let me know from now because I'm gonna find out regardless. So I'd rather you just come clean now. She's like, oh no, I don't know. So then now the manager of the housekeeper comes in her room because the front desk called her room and they wanted to talk to the manager of the housekeepers and talk to me. And then I guess the manager of the housekeepers was like, okay, they want you to come to the front desk. So she leaves now. And she's like, oh, I'm like, I'm not leaving until this girl gets out of my room. She can finish cleaning, but I'm not leaving until she leaves because I don't want nothing else going missing. Even though I don't know it's her or not, but she's kind of looking a little bit suspect after she's like, oh, see. And then all of a sudden she's mumbling everything else. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I wait for her to leave. And I was just cheese. So I went up to the front desk now and they're like, oh, we're really sorry. We found what did they say? They found the key cards. There was two people that went in the room. It was a male, which was the water boy, and the housekeeper. And I'm like, okay, I don't care what's happening to them. Like, what's going on with my money? You guys are doing all this, but am I getting my money back? I'm like, either it's you guys pay for my excursions or run me back my money, because I was just getting so mad at this point. I'm like, you guys are just bringing me around the ring around. So she's like, I know, I'm very sorry for the inconvenience, but for the inconvenience, but we can upgrade your room. And I'm like, yo, I do not want my room upgraded because I'm not in my room half the time. Why would I care about my room being upgraded? And the funny thing is, when we booked our vacation, we already upgraded our room. So I don't care for no high-end room. I'm not in my room half the time. And then she's like, oh, all she kept saying was, oh, I'm sorry, this is that. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? You keep saying I'm sorry, but you're not giving me any results. Like, what's happening? Is someone getting fired? Am I getting back my money? What is going on? And then I'm like, can't you guys check the cameras to see exactly who this is that? Because they're like, oh, we have to interview them and get their reactions and everything. And I'm like, yo, like, can't you check the cameras? There's no cameras on that whole resort. If I was to die any day of my vacation, they would not know who killed me because there's no cameras on the resort. So I'm like, she's like, okay, we'll have one more meeting with you tomorrow, this, that. We have to do the interview with the people. So the next day at 6, they wanted to meet with me. And it's like, I felt like I had to keep calling them because they weren't contacting me. Like, I don't get what's going on. You guys are saying you're investigating, and it said it should take 24 hours, but it's taking like 10,000 years. So the next day, we're waiting. We were for waiting so we can go back to the next meeting. So I'm just going online, I'm just curious. I'm like, yo, this never happened to me on any resort. I've never used a safe. I've always kept my stuff, like, it wasn't out in the open, but I always kept it like in my suitcase or something, and I always put the sign on the door, and they always follow, and they never come in my room. So what happened? Oh yeah, sorry. So now we're going for our last meeting, but before I do, I go on Google reviews just to review the resort to see if it happened to anyone else. When I go on Google reviews, a lot of people, when I mean a lot, I didn't see this when I was on TripAdvisor, on Red Tag when I was booking my flight, or this whenever I went to Flight Center or whatever. It's like, oh, they stole my cell phone from my bag, they stole hundreds of dollars from me, they stole from the safe. Like, y'all are telling me to use the safe, but someone here got robbed from their safe. Like, doesn't make any sense at all. So I'm like, okay. And after someone's like, they know what's going on, it's organized crime. And then one person's like, they do an investigation to act like they're helping you, but really they're not doing nothing. After I read that comment, I'm like, okay, these bitches ain't doing nothing to help me. They're just putting on an act to make it look like they're trying to do something. And that's when I felt like, they feel like they know what's going on in the resort because there's no cameras. So if a maid and water boy or whoever went in the room, they're probably doing it to a lot of people because, like, okay, there's no cameras, there's no proof. The only way you can, like, really catch someone if they're caught on camera or you catch them in the act, something like that. So I feel like whoever commented that comment saying it's organized crime, I definitely agree with that. So now I go back to my final interview with this different manager. This time it's a guy manager. He brings me to the office and he's like, oh, so We found people that were in your room. And I'm like, okay, so what's happening with them? Like, are they getting fired? This is that. He's like, no, we can't do that because they're gonna say, where's the proof? So I'm like, yo, I don't really care what's going on. Like, where's my money? Like, I'm not, like, what do you guys expect me to do? She left me with $23 on an 8-day trip. Is she stupid or something? And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I know that we can help you fill out a police report if you want. So I'm like, first of all, I'm like going crazy in the room. Like, he's not getting, like, veins are popping out my neck. I'm getting that heated. And my boyfriend's just sitting there because he's just shocked. Like, because I don't get mad. Like, I don't get mad. And when I get mad, like, I get mad. I don't get mad a lot, but when I do get mad, I get mad. So I'm like, yeah, like, I'm going crazy in the room, vein popping out my neck, barely running. I'm running out of air just trying to get my point across. This is that. And he's like, I know. All he kept saying is, I know, man, but I don't want to waste your time. This is that. I'm like, yo, you need to make an ultimatum or whatever it's called. For these two, either one of them confess or they both get fired. And they're like, we can't do that because there's no proof. He's like, we can help, once again saying, oh, we can help with the police report. So I'm like, yo, how do you guys expect me to get to the police station with no money? How do you say, oh, maybe we can help you, this is that. So I'm like, okay, if you could help me get to the police station, help me pay for my excursions, because I don't really care if the money's gone now. Go pay for my excursions because that's what it was for. And they're like, oh, sorry, ma'am. I said we can try. We can help. I'm like, yo, you guys are just pathetic. I just got so mad to a point because I'm like, yo, we're getting nowhere. He's saying the same thing over and over again. And he knows what's going on in his damn resort. I'm like, you guys know what's going on. And I'm like, and you guys are all in on it. And you guys are just doing nothing to help. So I just got super cheese, walked out his room. And I'm like, I'm going to tell everybody here that you guys are thieves. So when I walked out of the room, all the newcomers were here and all the people that were still in the resort, I'm like, yeah, they're thieves, guys. Lock up your stuff. They're stealing people's stuff. Lock up your stuff. Lock up your stuff. Because they didn't do diddly squat. So what I did, after I went online, I was on YouTube and stuff, seeing a lot of people whose housekeepers stole from them, but they caught them on camera. So I set up a camera in my room right before we went for breakfast. Usually they clean in the early morning, so I left the camera there and I kind of hid it. And I noticed that they touch everything, but they don't touch anything on the dresser. So I kind of really hid the camera so they couldn't see. And it was videotaping, so I was hoping by the time I got back from breakfast, I would catch them on my camera. But sadly, there was no one who came in the room. So when I went to go take my nap after breakfast, that's when the housekeepers wanted to come in the room. But I'm like, you know what? This is just ridiculous now because nothing is being done. So I don't know till this day if it was Carmen that stole my money because her friends must have ratted her out. But what pissed me off the most is that my boyfriend tipped the person that was in her room. And he doesn't remember what the person looked like because he's like, they all look the same because they're all wearing the brown uniforms with their hair slicked back. So he couldn't remember. But it's like, the girl got tipped for stealing my money. Like, that's how mad I was. Like, $200 USD, that is $300 Canadian. Like, no. Like, I was so pissed. And I was just so, like, shocked that someone actually stole from me. Like, it's never happened to me before. And it's like, why are you taking that much? Like, if you took $20, I probably wouldn't even have said nothing. I'd be like, okay, this bitch stole my money. But I wouldn't be, like, super pissed. But that was pretty much it. That just kind of killed my trip because, like, I didn't even, like, even though I shouldn't let it affect the other people, I stopped tipping everybody. Like, I was just over it. Like, I just wanted to go home. Like, that trip just wasn't it. She ruined it. It just wasn't it. Because I already wasn't feeling it because of the weather. Like, yeah, we went in January, which is considered their winter, but I expected it to still be hot because I went to Jamaica last year in January and it was still hot. Like, it was perfect. But, like, it was only stayed hot between 12 and 4. And after that, I'm putting on my jacket and my pants. Like, no. So I already wasn't feeling it for the weather. And then after that, I just felt like after she stole my money, whoever it was, I just felt like, yeah, this trip isn't it. And I was just ready to go home. Like, if I could have left that day, I probably would have left that day. But it's all good, guys. So for the future, use your guys safe, which I don't even recommend, or just keep your money on you guys at all vacations. Any vacations you go, because this could happen anywhere, even though this is the first time it's happening. And I've been to Mexico before and nobody stole my money. Oh my god, I left out the biggest part. This was in my last interview with the guy when I said I walked out. He told me that the housekeeper told him, so you know it wasn't the water boy, because first of all, the water boy fills up every 24 hours. So why would it be 48 hours? We were only there for 2 days, so he came later on the day that I found that I got robbed. But anyway, so I knew it wasn't the water boy, but the manager told me that the housekeeper told him that when she was going in the room, there was a green sign on the door. So I told the man, I'm like, that's when I jumped. I'm like, yo, like, are you not putting 2 and 2 together? I told you that the sign was red on the door and she's telling you it's green. Like, obviously she's lying. And he's like, oh, there's no proof. But I'm like, why would I come up here, storm up to the front desk the day of it happening, and cuss you guys and go off about $200 being missing, saying I had the sign do not disturb on my door, this is that. but she comes and tells you there was a green sign. I'm just like, come on, like this is what I knew. I'm like, you guys obviously don't care. You guys are probably in on it. Like nobody, you know. I'm like, this is definitely organized crime. So I will definitely not be going back to the Real Santa Fe in Cabo, Mexico. Do not go, guys. Worst resort ever. Go somewhere else. Go to the, what's the other one beside it? It was something else. It was the Real Palace. That was the good one. But do not go to the Real Santa Fe because they are thieves. And they hire thieves and they know what's going on in the resort, but they don't care and they're not going to try to help you anyway. But that was pretty much the story. I'm still upset. Like, I contacted the after trip customer service, whatever, and all they kept saying as well, you didn't use the safe. And I'm like, the sign was on the door. Regardless if I used the safe or not, she was not supposed to be in my room, and she still came in my room. Clearly, she came in my room because she knew I had probably something that she wanted to steal something. So, and a lot of reviews said that they've been robbed at your resort. And there's no cameras. So, therefore, I feel like it is organized crime. But yeah. Anyway, guys, that is it for that story time. Never going back to Cabo, Mexico ever in life. And as I mentioned before, do not stay at the Real Santa Fe. They are trash and they have no cameras. So, yeah, don't do it. But yeah, so I'll see you guys in another video.